Uh, the topic taken for discussion is administration of criminal justice, and that is operating in different parts of the world. So how criminal justice administration is taken place, and with reference to three systems that we are going to see. One is called adversarial system, another is called inquisitorial system, and the third one is mob lynching. So these are all the three systems which the court adopt during the finalization of criminal justice, and we will see one by one. Usually the source of law for this operating of this criminal justice administration system is, one is called Indian Penal Code 1860, the another is called that is Indian Penal Code Civil Criminal Procedure Code 1973, and then Indian Evidence Act 1872. These are all the three acts which govern the criminal justice administration system. So these are all the sources for financing the criminal justice system. One thing, and then first we will see one by one. Actually, the adversarial system is adopted in India. It is adversarial means the adversaries, that is the two opposing parties. It is governed by common law as adopted in England. As we are under the colonial rule of British, we adopt this common law that is inherited from British rulers. So we have taken it from the British rulers, and that is followed in India. It also, though adversarial system we adopt, we should also have inquisitorial system that we are going to see. That is the important features of this adversarial system is this is purely relies on skill of lawyers. Actually, the major part is with the lawyers, with their skills, with their arguing capacity, with their finding out the truth. As the lawyers are court officers, they play a vital role in finding out the truth or finding out the case. Then the judge, being the neutral umpire, his role is limited to the neutral umpire or a referee, and to find out the and they also see, the judges also see the case is beyond, that is the judges have to find out the prosecution has been able to prove beyond doubt the case. That is the important thing, that is the prosecution has been able to prove beyond doubt. That is the main thing in this adversarial system. So the prosecution has have a vital role. That is, prosecution, the government pleader have a vital role in proving the case, and also crossing the defense lawyers, and the benefit of doubt given to the accused. Usually the benefit of doubt is given to the accused in this system, and judge is having not active role but passive role. The role is a passive role, and it is can be compared to a referee between prosecutor, defense. So the court is a referee in between prosecutor, defense. Relies on skill of the lawyers, and burden is mainly with the prosecution. So the burden of proving the case lies with the prosecution, and court take the cognizance of the accused as innocence till proves guilty. That is, the accused, the court takes the cognizance of the accused as innocent until proved guilty. So these are all the important features of the adversary system. So the adversary system is followed in England and in India. And next we are going to see the inquisitorial system. Inquisitorial system means that is in depth they see the cases. So this is governed by the civil law, that is uncodified law. Whereas adversary system is codified law or coded law, that is the source is common law. But in inquisitorial system, it is based on civil law, which is uncodified law, and mostly the trial is secret, whereas the adversary system is open. But in the case of inquisitorial system, this is a closed trial, secret trial, and the accused should prove innocence. Actually, in the burden of proof is with the accused, that is the accused should prove innocence, and he is guilty till proven innocent, and judge has an active role in this inquisitorial system. Unlike adversary system, the judge has a major role. He is having active role, that is he is actively participate in investigating this case and investigating the truth and to find out various aspects in this case. And it has little use of judicial precedent. So judicial precedent is not at all having any value in deciding the case. So, and then it aims to get truth through investigation, and the investigation part is very, very important in this, and this is the truth is to be, the aims to get truth through investigation. So then judge gather evidence. Actually the judge himself gather evidence. Usually the gathering of evidence is on the part of police, but here the gathering of evidence is the judge himself. So we call him as active role, and that is promotes equality. It promotes the equality, and in the important aspect is in this no adjournment, and it is so fast, as like fast track courts. The investigation procedure is taken not in a paced manner, not in a slow manner, but in a fast manner. It is taking place, so that the delay in delivering the judge is avoided, and it is so fast that the justice delayed is justice denied, the maxim says accordingly. So the delay means naturally there will be some vociferous activities may happen to avert all those things, and to have the justice system beyond any doubt. This inquisitorial system is to be adopted according to the experts in the honorable judge also, the Pondicherry ex-judge Jayasuriya Surya in his webinar also told that the inquisitorial system is the best system for the cases which is which fits for the punishment beyond 7 years. Suppose the gravity of the crime is so serious, and it is eligible for the punishment of 7 and more years, then it should be investigated by the judge himself. It is according to it is opined that the judge should himself involve in investigating the case. That is with regard to the inquisitorial system. And law is flexible. Law is unlike the codified law in adversary system. This is a flexible system, and mostly the felony, the serious crime, misdemeanor is not taken in these cases. Usually the felony, which is considered to be a serious crime, those crimes are taken in the inquisitorial system. And moreover, since the it is the evidence and other things are taken fast, there is no the proper judgment is can be made in all these cases, and so less acquittal, mostly less acquittal is in these cases. That is, freeing from the charges is very rare and acquittal is less. And these are all the things, certain things in inquisitorial system, inquisitorial system. So the inquisitorial system is usually adopted in continental countries such as Rome, Italy, and then the Russia and Germany. In those countries, this inquisitorial system is followed. So it is the fittest question whether we adopt inquisitorial or adversary system. In India, we adopt adversary system as well as inquisitorial system. Both we adopt. So that is the speciality of the case. Since it is dealing with crime, crime is a social wrong, which is the moral values are taken into account, and to correct the society, the criminal should be punished. Basing on these facts, these are all the whether we can have inquisitorial system or adversary system. So inquisitorial system, the Malimath Committee 2000, the ex-judge of Kerala, Chief Justice of Kerala and Chief Justice of Karnataka, former Chief Justice of Malimath, has recommended that we can adopt inquisitorial system which is best suited for the Indian country. So that is their recommendation. So we can borrow the inquisitorial system, they say. So according to Malimath Committee, we can adopt inquisitorial system. But anyhow, we adopt both. We depend upon the police for investigation in adversary system, and also we can adopt this inquisitorial system. Then speedy and the fair trial, fair justice can be given. So we can adopt the both, but particularly for the cases which deserve 7 years punishment and more than that, the inquisitorial system is best. This is according to the Malimath Committee. And some of the other things which we want to discuss in this is the age below the 7 years of age, they are incapable of doing crime, so they are scot free. They will be they are not acquitted. They are not given punishment. And now the 18, now the age of 18, up to 18, it was considered as a minor. Now after Nirbhaya case, it has been reduced to 16. And then some of the sections also we want to see, that is the committal accused and committal magistrate. The committal accused, then only they take up the case. Suppose if it is the accused is committal, and then only the case is fittest for taking up the case and delivering the justice. So that is committal accused is necessary. And also we can see some of the important sections which is relevant for the criminal justice administration. So that is 207 supply of documents, and then that is criminal procedure code 207 supply of documents, 204 summon of person accused, and then 208 supply of documents by the accused, and then 169 release of accused if evidence not supported. So release of accused can be done by section 169, and then section 170 sufficient evidence, 164 section 164 of criminal procedure code recording of evidence by judge. 299 recording of evidence in absence of accused. That is, when they want to inquire the witness, they can inquire even without the accused. In the absence of accused, they can inquire the witness according to section 299 of Criminal Procedure Code. Then 320T, trial by Chief Judicial Magistrate, and section 334 of Criminal Procedure Code, acquittal on grounds of unsound mind. Suppose if he is lunatic and when the crime committed he is unsound mind, then acquittal can be done. That is according to section 334 and 333. Unsound mind persons, sound mind persons. So ours is a mixture of the adversary system as well as inquisitorial system. These are the things. And evidence, and another thing, according to Indian Evidence Act, the evidence should be based on quantity and quality. Both should be there. This is with regard to the adversarial system and in inquisitorial system. And another the thing is also there, that is the third thing, mob lynching. Mob lynching means when a mob gathers, it may be more than two or many, then they lynch a person, they kill a person by beating or by throwing stones or by somehow they are killing. That is called mob lynching. Friends, some of the examples I will tell you how a frenzy mob, that is, one should not take the law in his own hands. This is the mob lynching is applicable, the maxim. The mob itself taking the case in their own hands, that should not be. That is the main thing behind mob lynching. Actually, a frenzy mob lynched 45-year-old man in Hapur, that is Hapur in UP, and injured his friend also. One man was killed and another man was injured on 18/6/2018 in Hapur. And then the civil, another important thing in this case, Modi government civil aviation minister appreciated such of the mob lynching acts. This is actually wrong, and he also garlanded 8 men sentenced to life imprisonment. This is an attitude of unwanted as per the law. And 31-year Muslim man from Haryana became its victim. That is the Mewar district. In Mewar district, 13-year-old Muslim man from Haryana became its victim. This is all how they lynch, because they go for cow slaughter or they go for harming the cow, like that. And in Tamil Nadu also some mob lynching happened. That is the child lifter. Somebody, they may suspect that the person is a child lifter, or somebody is a magician who will be doing some harm to the even children, like that. When they suspect, the mob lynching occurs. And then 20th July 2018, Ragbar Khan, attacked by a group of 8 to 13 by the cow vigilance, succumbed to his injuries. So he died of injuries. And then 3 men in Rajasthan, Alwar, in 2017 have been killed from April 2017 on suspicion of being cow smugglers. And then actually, to avert this, this is a serious offense and this is unexpected from the mob. They should not take the law in their own hands. And so to avert this, a committee has been formed, a bench has been formed under the three judges were formed for the committee members, C.J. Deepak Mishra and A.H. Kanvalkar and D.V. Chandrachud. On 17/7/2018, they recommended the Parliament should pass a separate offence. And then Supreme Court asked the entire state to discharge their constitutional duty. Actually, this is the constitutional duty that should be done by the state government, for which the state government should initiate or take action to prevent the mob lynching. And if at all, if any mob lynching is suspected, appropriate action should be taken. That is, the law and order should be maintained. The court issued guidelines. Some of the guidelines the court issued, Supreme Court issued some guidelines. They are the SP, under the head of the SP, the DSP of the district should take appropriate action to prevent mob violence. Then they should also gather intelligence to find out the rumor mongers. Some of the rumor mongers will be there here, and unnecessarily they will provoke the people to go for mob lynching and all. So the rumor mongers are to be identified. For that, a separate intelligence should be created by the district police. And DGP, Home Secretary, then and there has to review the matters at least once in quarter, at least once in 3 months. The Home Secretary of the state should review the cases. And if at all, if the cops are negligent, they have to pay for the negligence. And the another suggestions are the victims are to be compensated. Suppose if the victims are real victims, they have to be compensated within 13 days. And lynching cases are to be tried in fast track courts, and then probably within a month. It is speedy justice should be given, and even in close vigil should be done in online also to stop incite violence, and also warning for the lynching. These are all the certain guidelines they have issued from the Supreme Court to prevent this mob lynching as a matter of the criminal justice administration, criminal justice operation or criminal justice administration. These steps were also taken. With this, we conclude the administration of criminal justice in various heads, in various systems. That is a adversarial, inquisitorial, and then mob lynching system. With this, we conclude the administration of criminal justice operating systems. Thank you.